All right. So Wiz Khalifa out here blowing smoke directly in people's faces like that's supposed to be a good time. He thinks it's hilarious getting his own friends high without their permission right in the middle of a studio session. But hold up, because what's really spooky is how he's getting all up in a grown man's face like he's 2 seconds away from kissing him on the lips. That's nasty work right there, and I'm not sugarcoating it. Might as well just go ahead and kiss the guy at that point, because that's exactly what it looked like. Anyway, we got Drake, Iceman, and everybody wants to know if he's going to disappoint. He's got a release date locked inside an actual ice block that has to melt before anybody finds out when the project drops. And look, it's creative. I'll give him that. My guess is that thing melts within a week or two, and we're looking at a June release date. And listen, we can critique the rollout all we want, but what else are we genuinely excited about right now? Kanye came through with some good music. Kendrick is not in the market. J. Cole dropped a D and honestly came and went so fast it barely registered. Nobody else is dropping anything with real weight behind it, and music just isn't exciting right now. Everybody traded in their microphone for a ring light and a podcast setup. No, W Finesse 2 Times had a show situation that had setup written all over it. He flew 3 hours to Benton Harbor, Michigan, only to get told by the promoter and police to get out of his truck and walk 3 blocks to the venue, and he shut that down immediately. I said he had the mother of his child with him on federal probation, and it simply wasn't worth the risk. Looking at the pictures he showed, there were people packed everywhere, 3 blocks from that venue, and there's no way he walks through that safely. I wouldn't have done it either, Emidafor. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it, period. Clarissa Shields is out here on a full success tour or letting everybody know she is the greatest thing walking. Say something different and she will make a 10-minute video about you before you finish your sentence. But here's where it gets genuinely sad. She's been publicly talking about her relationship with Papoose, living together, being engaged, the whole picture, and then Papoose hopped on Vlad TV and said they don't live together, they're not engaged, and they just exchanged gifts. And he dismantled everything she built publicly in one interview, and that's a painful thing to watch happen to somebody. She's talented at what she does, and that part is undeniable. She goes way too hard with the music attempts and the beef when boxing is clearly where her real gift lives, and she needs to lock back into that lane before she loses the credibility she built in the ring. You simply cannot be everything at once, and oversharing every detail of your personal life just hands people the exact ammunition they need to tear you apart. This social media stuff is genuinely backfiring on her now, and anybody around her who actually cares should pull her aside and tell her to fall back before it gets worse. You're giving people too much to work with. Leave it alone. Now, Birdman is out here publicly admitting he used to kiss Lil Wayne on the lips, and I genuinely don't know where to start with that. It's not even his biological kid, so I don't know what justification exists for that behavior. Remember that 106 and Park moment where they asked Birdman who he was kissing, and Wayne jumped in and said he doesn't kiss nobody but him on the mouth? I was floored watching that back. Wayne was so conditioned into thinking that was normal that he proudly announced it on national television like it was something to brag about. Baby did real damage to BG, Turk, and Wayne. I'm convinced of it. And whoever got the hugs and kisses from Baby apparently felt like the chosen one, which says everything. Birdman is a menace. I don't care how many plaques he has on the wall. Kissing grown men on the lips and then talking about it publicly like it's wholesome is bizarre behavior that needs its own documentary to fully unpack. 50 Cent is out here promoting Street Fighter while Rick Ross just keeps taking L after L. Ross can't put the phone down long enough to stop trolling Drake and 50 Cent and actually push his Minx in Miami record with French Montana and Max B. Honestly, the record isn't bad. I actually like the Minx in Miami track. But 1.5 million streams in 4 weeks is embarrassing for names of that caliber, and there's no way around that. Max B is still shaking off the rust, which makes sense since he hasn't even been home a full year yet. But French Montana deserves credit for setting him up properly when he came home and giving him a real platform to get back to the money he was missing. Alpha Mega, the same guy who used to be the big tough enforcer defending T.I. everywhere, is now saying I blackballed him and destroyed his career through snitching allegations, and that loyalty clearly didn't pay off the way he planned. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. And lastly, Gunplay has new music out. Lead, 7 days out now. And look, Gunplay is genuinely a solid dude who rode hard for Rick Ross since day one, even when Ross wasn't riding for him. No solo album with real MMG backing, no meaningful cosign. Meanwhile, Ross moved on. The second Triple C's didn't pop and picked up Meek Mill and Whale. Two artists who already had their foundation built before they ever stepped foot in MMG. Ross just had to stamp them and go, but Gunplay never got that same treatment, and his career never took off because of it. Ross uses people up P, and if you're not willing to just sit there quietly and absorb the disrespect, he'll cut you loose. And meanwhile, he's out here talking sideways about Drake, the same person who kept his entire career breathing for the last 13 years.